The science of finance has become detached from morality, belief and culture for decades. This presentation launches a bold new book by Professor Atul K. Shah, which rewrites the science to put ethics, culture, animals and nature at the heart of a new sustainable organic finance. What's most exciting is how Professor Shah draws from many indigenous cultures and beliefs to show how these practices are hiding in plain sight. Modern finance has come to overwhelm and overpower society. Its leaders and institutions are very far removed from the real world. They're detached from the nature and limits of money. Instead of serving communities and wider society, finance has become a master with significant political and structural power. Individualism and extractive capitalism have been fueled by neoliberalism to such an extent that the basic need for trust and relationships to make money work have become overwhelmed and overpowered by finance. Professional firms have been caught red-handed with significant audit failures, giving tax evasion and avoidance advice to multinationals and shaping a whole industry called out by Professor Matsukato as the big con. Just as a combine harvester removes the need for farmers, rural villages and communities, damaging both the soil, which is artificially fertilised and exhausted, and the living society around it, finance does the same damage on a global scale, destroying nature and humanity. Students are overwhelmed by numbers and equations which hide the assumptions and values behind them, giving credibility to a science that's destroying their own future, choking their opportunities and careers. Purpose and meaning have become detached from finance and replaced by greed, materialism and selfishness. The richest 80 families control half the world's wealth, and billions struggle simply to eat, educate and protect the family. How is this sustainable? Humans need to understand the nature and limits of money. We're the only species who've created money, and now science shows we've done irreversible damage to the planet. Finance has been key to this demolition, pollution and extraction, leading to irreversible climate change. Finance science avoids culture and belief, but in reality, money depends on trust, confidence and values. We urgently need to change the belief system underlying finance. For both scholars and students, we need to encourage and facilitate much greater reflexivity about finance. What is it for? Whose interests does it serve? How can it be changed to protect our ecosystem? What are the political foundations of finance science? Temples, churches and mosques are some of the centres of social capital. Here's a living example of an alternative finance drawing from Indian wisdom and culture. Ugandan Asians came in 1972 to the UK penniless, yet in less than 25 years they built one of the greatest additions to British architecture. The equation here is zero finance plus faith equals lasting prosperity. These are the equations we need to change to respect community and charity. Professor Shah is a Jain, one of the oldest cultures of the world, which has a long track record of sustainable finance wisdom. Jains see money as a servant, not as an object to get attached to. The focus is placed on good products, services and relationships so that finance helps society and doesn't destroy it. We need to learn to transcend money and transform society through quality professional training. The book gives many examples of how we can do this. The stories and traditions in many of the cultures of the world can make the subject of finance both interesting and revealing about the wider social and environmental context of money. Professor Atul Shah is a qualified chartered accountant, a Jain by tradition, and author of a wide range of research papers and books which cover themes of banking politics and unethical culture and hubris, accounting education, inclusive finance, Jain ethics, and sustainable reform in finance knowledge and training. Wisdom and traditions have a key influence on how to make finance sustainable. Even today, many family businesses are governed by these principles all over the world, with intergenerational success. The Indian rupee note has 15 languages on the back, showcasing how in India there are many different cultures of finance. Mahatma Gandhi symbolises trust and confidence, but he was also a deeply spiritual leader. Complexity is used to hide greed, gambling, corruption, and inequality. The moral degradation of finance is buried by equations. This needs urgent transformation, and the book shows us how we can do this. Like organic food, we need to replenish society, not expropriate it. Purpose and meaning lie at the heart of organic finance. For example, factory farming would not be financed on such an industrial scale if bankers were motivated by conscience and interdisciplinary science. This family invented Asia's most popular public transport vehicle, the auto rickshaw. The family was driven by their Jain faith to achieve intergenerational economic success and share their prosperity with wider society. The next phase of this research is to produce a professional documentary to help transform the science of finance. A global audience can be empowered to ask critical questions to experts and teachers. The Inside Job documentary on the 2008 financial crash won an Academy Award. The documentary will be used to provoke class discussions all over the world. The film will feature stunning visuals about ethical finance practices hiding in plain sight. The documentary can have a range of global impacts. We'll be seeking corporate and philanthropic sponsorship for this, and it'll take a year to film and edit.